But, despite like the not great things they did with the characters, it's still like an overall good show. Because a lot of people are shitting on it, because it's like, oh, they're such bad people. It's like, yeah, that's the point. It's a character flaw that he's supposed to grow from.
Yeah, but it's just like, but even with that, I wish he kind of didn't. Like, I just wish he was like constantly an asshole.
This one is such a pain in
That's
the
like
ass.
kind
Are
of
you
like
going to do the
what the
clock tower
character is.
first?
Yeah, I'm doing.
Ring the bell.
Go it up.
Run, boy!
Ring my bell. Ring my bell.
Plus, also, I just love the opening. Yeah, it's like it's a stupid dance number, and I love it.
Yeah. Apparently, it's not going to return for season 2, but it's going to be bigger and better for season 2.
Okay.
Things been confirmed.
And it better have at least 20% more hip thrusting.
Because he's like, well, all these people died in season 1, so we can't exactly have the same one, but, we'll have another one. It's okay.
Use CGI making Force Ghosts.
Well, you do the outside, I can do the top part up here.
If you want. I was just going to start with the steps and go from there, because this one is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Like, this one took me so fucking long. Because you gotta go with the fucking distance shots for the whole outside. Also,
but I mean, it's like... Oh, yeah, no, sorry, you go.
I'm 2 episodes into Echo. It's pointless so far.
Yeah. Because everyone was like, oh my god, Daredevil shows up, and then everybody stopped caring unanimously.
Because he shows up in a flashback for like 5 seconds.
Yep, that's it.
And they don't even bone. That's
okay.
Well, because they were a couple in the comics for like a minute.
Okay.
One of his many.
Oh, yeah, Daredevil's a fucking whore.
Honestly, he is. People don't talk about that enough. Like, he's fucked around a lot.
Because, I mean, you know what? It's easy for him. Hey, I'm blind. I'm blind. And then gets pussy. It's fucking easy. It's a little easy. I'm just saying, the pity fucking gets you a long way.
That's one way to interpret it. Plus also, the thing that annoys me the most is he's wearing the correct suit. Which tells me they still have the suit from the Netflix series.
No,
and they're just choosing...
You didn't see that?
What?
On Daredevil Born Again, if it's still going to be called Born Again, they are filming, and he's wearing the all-red costume.
Oh, thank
not the red and gold one.
Fuck!
It actually looks pretty good. The only thing that was kind of funny about it is, well, what they did is they cover the eyes, because it's obviously a stunt double.
Yeah.
So they, have to, like, CGI that in later, so they, like, cover that up.
Uh-huh.
But the only thing that's kind of weird is the belt is, like, a little bit far up, so it looks like he's like wearing dad jeans, where like how like a dad pulls up his like belt to like where his stomach is, like almost where his fucking nipples are. That's what it kind of looked like.
Jesus.
Outside of that, it did look good. It was like a very bright red, and like the costume actually looks pretty good. I mean, I'm still not gonna watch it out of spite because fuck Disney, but good on them for doing that.
Fair. I will say the one show that like they got allegedly coming that I'm interested to see how it goes is the Scar show.
Scar?
Yeah, Hulk's son.
Oh, I thought like for a hot sec for the hottest
Lion King.
Like, are they making a Lion King show? That would not shock me. They are making a prequel that's coming out this year.
Yes, Mufasa. That's for some reason going to be live
everybody
action
cared
again.
about the Lion King remake. Anyway, so
but
yeah, because aren't they like trying to set up Young Avengers or something?
Oh, very clearly. I called that years ago.
Yeah, like once they
it's either going to be Young Avengers or they're going to call it the Champions. It's one or the other. Now that Miss Marvel is clearly involved.
What came out first? I think it was like once WandaVision came out and like they introduced their kids. I'm like,
oh yeah,
they're probably gonna do that. They're definitely gonna do that.
Yeah, no, they introduced Wicked and Speed in that. Yeah, they got Hawkeye, and they got fucking Eli in the Not My Captain America. The only original one they're missing is Iron Lad, but he's a Kang, so they have the option.
Yeah, although they did, I remember, like, this was obviously rumor, speculation, probably bullshit,
Mm.
but like, oh, what they're gonna do is they're just gonna take the name Iron Lad and just give it to the kid that was in Iron Man 3 and like just make him quote unquote Iron Lad, but like as a guy wearing, Tony Stark's armor
That's not
as
the
like
worst
Iron
option.
Man as a lad.
I would prefer if
Again,
they at least made it somewhat like the actual Iron Lad suit, just because, I'm not a big Iron Man guy, but I've always aesthetically liked the Silver Centurion design. So I would much prefer red and silver than red and gold.
Yeah.
It's
What was it? The only interpretations of Tony Stark you like are the Armored Adventures and 2022 or whatever. Or
no,
2020.
the original version of 2020, and then Noir and Heroes Reborn and Ultimate. There are a lot of Iron Mans that I like. It's just they're far outnumbered by the ones that I don't.
I know.
The one
I always forget. Sorry to interrupt, but
Mhm.
I always forget. Who do you hate more again? Because I feel like I know which one you do, and then you're like, no, I actually hate this guy more.
like, comic
Is it
wise
Mr.
or
just in terms of general characters, Mr. Fantastic or Iron Man?
oh no, Mr. Fantastic is a worse person, but I hate Iron Man more.
Okay.
Because Mr. Fantastic is consistently a bad person, and whereas Iron Man constantly tries to affirm that he's a good person and then fails spectacularly in doing so.
And he can't blame it on the alcohol anymore.
Exactly. Like I like people may judge me for it. I firmly believe he should let him drink again. He's relapsed like 4 or 5 times since it happened anyway. Most of them in the past decade or so. It's fine. Just let it be.
Well, now I don't think they want to do it because they're trying to copy the movies so much for the comics because it's like maybe this will get people to read the comics.
Then kill him.
And then, and so they probably don't want to like actually have like Tony Stark Iron Man in the comics like being addicted to something because that might like bring up something with Robert Downey Jr. and they don't want to do that.
That's
which like
fair.
I can kind of see, but it's still a little. Like he's not the character. Like he is. I mean, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, he's literally Tony Stark." I'm like, okay, he's not literally Tony Stark, but like, there's still some degree
I can
of
see that
separation
perspective, yeah. But you want to mimic the movies? Kill him, and keep it this time. They've done that several times too.
Although apparently Josh Brolin was like a fucking apparently kicking the hornet's nest. It's like, I've heard, in the grapevine that they want to bring Thanos back. It's like, of course they fucking do.
No one wants that.
Because it's like, oh, okay, cool. He died for nothing. Awesome.
In fairness, Thanos is a worthless piece of shit in the comics anyway, so
Yeah,
it tracks.
Shitty Darkseid.
Not even that. He predates Darkseid.
No, Darkseid came before.
No, Darkseid was created in the 70s with the rest of the New Gods. Thanos was from the 60s.
But the famous story of like, oh, why don't you just rip off the known New God? Because I think it was like Thanos was like they were trying to rip off the New Gods, and they were like, and they had him more based around what I think like Metron looked like. And the editor at the time was like, why not just make him like the most popular New God? And that was that. And then that's where Thanos came from.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he predates him. Plus, they're very different characters anyway.
They are. Like, I know, like, that's sort of like the basic bitch thing of like, oh, he's just a ripoff. Where it's like, maybe at first, maybe in like design, maybe some motivations, but
I'd say the biggest difference is that Darkseid, at least back when he was good, was at least competent. Thanos has always been an incompetent moron.
Yeah, he's always been a bitch boy simp.
No, he wasn't even a simp at first. Back like his whole original thing was he wanted before the Infinity Stones existed, he wanted the Cosmic Cube, and he got it, and he became the universe, and he still fucked it up. Just on his own.
Yeah, that's right.
He's just stupid.
Now we're definitely not getting Kang because Jonathan Majors likes hitting women too much.
That's no big loss. Kang is a stupid villain.
Yeah. And so now they're like considering like a bunch of other like candidates. They want to do Doctor Doom, where it's like you'll fuck that up.
Probably, but still, it's a better choice. I'd much rather see it.
I mean,
see, the thing is,
I agree, but it's like it's Disney. They will fuck him up somehow.
Yeah, like as far as like major, like, you know, replacing Thanos level villains, they could do Doom. Doom would be a good choice. They could maybe do Korvac, but I feel like he's both too obscure and too difficult to manage because they'd have to nerf him hard.
Yeah.
Galactus doesn't really work as like a series level villain. He works as an occasional pop-in. Magneto, I guess, since they're bringing in mutants, could maybe work, but it's kind of hard for him to like work as a big bad, like outside of being an X-Men villain. He's never really managed to stick.
What a Nihilus.
He wouldn't be the worst choice. I feel like he would feel a bit too much like Thanos 2.0, since his whole thing is just like, I want to kill people and conquer everything.
I mean, they already changed Thanos from the comics anyway, so...
Yeah, to his detriment.
Yeah.
Yeah, say what you want about Thanos. He's a stupid simp. I have more respect for his motivations in the comics than for his discounted economic theories in the fucking movies.
Yeah, it's like, hey, have you read, like, do you know about carrying capacity, sir?
Like, do you understand the thing you are talking about at all? Like, literally, movie Thanos is like a hipster who went to college for like 5 minutes, took one class on statistics and philosophy, and thinks they understand the world.
Yep, that's pretty much it. Because it's like, and the thing is, if like if the Russo brothers just shut the fuck up, it would have been maybe like, okay, fine, dumb ass fucking plan, sure. But, like, if you just left it alone, fine. But no, they had to fucking say, oh, yeah, he also fucking got rid of half the resources. It's like, that literally goes against the whole fucking plan to begin with.
If you got rid
Why are you getting rid of the resources if that's, like, the whole fucking thing? Is the resources is the problem? We don't have enough. Why would you get rid of half of them with the people?
And clearly they're as intelligent as Thanos.
Yeah, the Russo brothers are fucking morons. And people are starting to realize, hey, they're not good directors. Winter Soldier was a fucking fluke. Don't at me.
Yeah, that is probably the best Captain America movie.
Yeah.
I
don't like Civil War, but, you know, that's just me.
I love Civil War, but it's entirely for personal bias reasons.
You hate the comic that much, I assume.
No, because I hate the comic, and because unlike the comic, the correct person wins. Because in the comic, Iron Man, despite being unarguably wrong, wins. Like, that, like, when the scene where Cap just fucking beats his ass, I have been waiting for that since I was a wee lad. That was so fucking cathartic for me.
Yeah, because the thing is, even I have to agree from what I know of Civil War, yeah, the movie is better, but, like, that's not saying much.
Yeah.
But I remember talking about Civil War 2, and you didn't think that was that bad either.
It's still bad, but it's not as bad as the original, although it still suffers from the same problem of one of these people is clearly right. And, you know, the fact that in that case, you made me side with Iron Man should tell you how badly they were writing Danvers in that.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Like, that says a lot.
Yep.
Plus, also, she just, like, she just, like, wants to, like, you know, put fucking Miles in a prison, and it's like, no, he's a good boy. Let him be.
Yeah.
Just
well, unless you're racist, then you hate Miles.
Fair. But then they're wrong, because they haven't read most of his comics, although the modern ones have been kind of shitty. But the early ones were good.
Because isn't it like, oh, they can't have him one-up Peter because reasons?
Because, yeah, exactly. That's why he shouldn't have been made part of the main canon. There is no better example of it, though, than the 2017 Spider-Man cartoon, which, phenomenal cartoon, but it shows it to a T, because they've got both of them in it. Every time Peter isn't around and it's just Miles doing his own thing, he's smart, he's capable, he works. The second Peter comes in, his IQ drops like 50 points and he goes back to laughing, joking, numbnuts comic relief.
And that's a shame. Like, it, especially when, like, I don't want to say, like, again, I don't know, it's like specific comics, but like, from what I know of Miles, like, it was pretty much into the Spider-Verse that made him, like, kind of like an actual character. Because in the comics for a while, from what I know, is that he was just essentially Diet Peter.
Well, yeah, again, after they brought him into canon. Before, see, that's the thing. In the Ultimate Universe, he worked because he was the only Spider-Man. Peter was dead, so he only had to live up to his example. So he was able to come into his own and in some ways surpass that, Peter. But like they had so many great scenes of him, like, showing respect and moving forward. Like, he met Aunt May and Gwen and they gave him Peter's web shooters. He met the main universe version of Peter and like it helped him work through like his imposter syndrome and his issues with it. And it was really good. Then even they brought Peter back, via clone nonsense, and he was like, "Nah, I don't need to be Spider-Man. It's yours." And it worked really well. Then you put him in main canon, doesn't matter, like, he's been replaced before. No matter what, Peter Parker will always be the Spider-Man. So all Miles is a Spider-Man, or, depending on who's writing it, the Brown Spider-Man. Which, like, it was even explicitly stated...
Brown-black Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's like, it was explicitly stated in his first solo series in the main universe, which was still written by Bendis, because he wrote all of Ultimate Spider-Man. He's like, yeah, I don't want to be known as the Brown Spider-Man, but that's exactly what they've done to him.
Marvel is stupid.
Yeah, no, both Marvel and DC are stupid these days. Marvel, somewhat less so. Like, DC is just like, constantly...
DC are, like, honestly, at one point, I was like, oh, they can't close DC Comics. That's like an American institution. At this point, just fucking burn it. Scorch Earth. Fucking destroy DC Comics at this point. Because nothing they can do can honestly... I mean, they'll find a way, because life finds a way. They'll find a way to make it worse, like they always do, because DC has to one-up itself in its own stupidity. So honestly, just scorch Earth at this point. Just fucking sell it off, crumble it into dust, whatever you need to do, just fucking kill DC Comics at this point. Like, I'm so done. No, I'm so fucking done.
They could get back on course if they just stop using the multiverse so much. Like, that's their biggest issue. That's why I use the analogy for it that I do. DC, like, the DC universe is a dog with an infected wound that is the multiverse. And eventually someone comes along, they give it antibiotics, they put a cone on it, but inevitably it will always manage to wrench itself free and go right back to chewing on it again.
Yeah, thanks, Grant Morrison, you fucker.
Grant Morrison isn't the only one at fault. It was a group effort.
I know, I'm just kidding. He's the guy that had the name on the thing, so
they,
like, yeah. Oh, they. Sorry.
Oh,
so they had their name on the fucking thing, so they get all the blame.
That's fair. Like, Grant Morrison is someone, like, I have a very difficult time with their work because, like, they've written some really great stuff. They've also written some really bad stuff. And I understand why they do it. I, too, love, like, random nonsensical Silver Age minutia, because I also grew up reading it. But there's better ways to insert it than the ways that they have. Batman of Zur-En-Arrh is the best example. Oh, this great fun story where Batman goes to another planet and becomes, like, their Superman and learns a lesson. As let's make that when he made a separate psychological, like, entity inside of himself, basically, who, like, for if he got psychologically damaged, who's Batman, but way more fucking violent, and all he can say is Zur-En-Arrh, because on the night his parents got shot, his dad said Zorro belongs, would go to Arkham. Just all the
no. Was that all introduced in No Man's Land?
That was all introduced in Hush.
Oh. Because didn't Zur-En-Arrh come out in No Man's Land?
I don't think so. It's been a minute, but I remember that being the big part of Hush. If they did it in No Man's Land, then I don't remember, because it's been a long time since I've read that.
Okay. I have it. I still need to read it, because my buddy got me Crisis on Infinite Earths for Christmas, so I'm going to hopefully read that soon. I still gotta finish the Just Imagine Stan Lee writing the DC universe, because I still need to give those back to you.
I know.
Sorry,
That's
I'm a
fine.
slow reader and not a good boy.
You are not the only person that I've loaned books to. My friend Angel has like my entire Immortal Hulk collection.
Gave one back, so I do feel good about that.
You're fine. Take your time.
Yeah, I did read because I have it on my desk right now. I think I read The Flash and it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I have yet to read the other 3 stories. Oh, hey, Robin, with artist John Byrne. Oh, your favorite. Everybody's favorite cuck.
Alleged cuck.
Alleged. I just say it is because if he finds it, he'll get pissed off, and that brings me joy because fuck John Byrne. I've barely, like, read anything he's done art for or anything like that, but, like, you know, fuck him.
Very much an example of the more I read, the less I like.
Yeah. Because I think I told that to you when I don't know if it was last time we did Power Wash or when we were doing Chamber of Secrets, but yeah, there was the whole, like, because everyone hated Jim Shooter way back when, like, all the veterans, because they were all hot shit, and Jim Shooter's like, hey, we have to care about the fans, and they're like, no, we're the greatest, most amazing thing ever. And so in order to get back at Jim Shooter, John Byrne held a barbecue for all the veterans, and they made an effigy to Jim Shooter, and they burned it down. Good times.
And then I think it was either him or someone else, like, working on the book Danger Duck, put in a proxy for John Byrne after he went on and on about how he was proud to be a company man despite the fact that they were, you know, horribly underpaid. And so they put a version of him with a removable spine and no penis. Which, granted, not like he really needed it based on my assumptions.
Yeah.
I think really the only thing he's super well known for is, like, you know, being the artist on X-Men for a long time, back in, like, the early Claremont days.
And then he did, and then he also did She-Hulk and Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Didn't he?
Yeah.
So those are, like, the big things he's done.
And then he was, like, the writer for Superman initially after Post-Crisis, and it was real bad.
Yeah, because it's like, because, you know, American-born John Byrne is like, oh, we gotta make Superman a full-blooded American, so make it so that he was born in America, because sure.
And does like Americans love to do and constantly gets involved in foreign affairs. Specifically in the Middle East. That was a big part of it.
But if there was any more oil on this plate, the U.S. would try to invade it.
Every time like this game makes like a ding noise, I just remember the Doctor Who thing. It's like it's a device that goes ding.
Was that in the episode Blink?
No, it was the crossover with 1011 and the War Doctor.
Okay.
He was using it to find the alien that was the big red thing with covered in suckers.
Yeah, the Zygons.
Yeah, and he thought it was a rabbit. That was like one of my favorite scenes from that. He's like, and you are just a rabbit, aren't you?
I do like how they did make fun of the fact that David Tennant just went on random monologues and speeches all the fucking time. I will give them that. I mean, not a good episode, but, like, you know, it had some moments.
Where the fuck
I hope you can't hear my computer right now because it is a jet engine right fucking now, and it's making a lot of noise. Okay, good.
Yeah, Discord is good about background noise.
Words can get so annoying.
This one, like, we're 60% done, and there's still like so fucking much out here.
Don't worry, I'm almost done up here, so I'll come down and help you down there because I know you were like, watch out for the fucking the clock tower level. I'm like, why? You're like, the fucking pillars, man.
They're so annoying. It's still not as bad as when I had to do the temple when I was doing the story mode, because I did not buy any of the extensions.
Oh, buddy.
I was focused entirely on
the achievements.
No, not on the achievements. I was buying all of the color options and buying cleaning fluid.
Idiot.
You know what? And I still did it without the extensions, so fuck you.
But it probably took me an extra couple of hours.
Yeah, it took like 4.5 hours, but you know what? I did it. Work harder, not smarter, numbnuts.
Hell.